Behind the southern charm lies razor-blade smiles and hearts of darkness.
Monsters we are.
You know the rest of that sentiment and the reasoning behind it.
The truest lie ever sung.
It is not in seeking monstrousness that we stave off the monsters of our hearts and thoughts.
We are monsters dead, and truly so.
Yet our monstrousness is solely in seeking to live.
Seeking to be that most human of animals.
Monsters we are.
Monsters we are.
The better to embrace the truth of our dead humanity.
The Coast After Dark is a mature-themed Discord play by Post Server based in and exploring the V5 world of darkness in and around the Mississippi Gulf Coast region.
It has a small local population with over 14 million tourists that visit annually.
Roughly an hour's time is all that is needed to travel from end to end.
The geography and size of the region has created a unique power structure that is formally known as the Council of Twilight.
It is sometimes called the Pentarchy.
Sometimes affectionate.
Sometimes oozing with disdain.
Come explore and safely experience the darker parts of the sun-kissed landscape
and your imaginations.
Well, the names are indicative for their ancestors. They're indicative of people who come from all over the world and several places across the United States to settle here on Mississippi Gulf Coast to find, discover, build their version of future, their legacy. These characters, whether it's Shay, Olamide, Jiang, Mackenzie, Camille, Chin, Reagan, or Yield are all products of not only their present environment as kindred, but also the hopes and dreams of their ancestors, their parents, their extended family members. For instance, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the usual locale for names, but Shay, Spalding is clearly of Irish descent. So you can imagine what sort of family they built for themselves here in the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Olamide, clearly a Nigerian Brazilian. Jiang, clearly someone who speaks Hakka. Look at that last name, Béringer. Mackenzie, Deforest, Deforest isn't exactly a less than obvious name. But all of those details we will discuss upon their selection as we move through them. So we get a chance to build the legend and legacy of these characters through what we decide to explore and express when we slide them on as a good, comfortable pair of shoes or hand gloves that are a little too big.
I am leaning towards that Brujah.
Say it with your chest.
I am. Yeah, and especially I'm sold because it is Irish descent, and the idea of a Brujah being an Irish boxer of some origin is too tempting.
Okay, so we've got one.
Tell me about Chinwindu.
What do you mean? We'll tell you about Chinwindu?
You tell us.
I don't know what. I don't even know what gender that is. I haven't seen that name before. I don't know what nationality.
Exactly. You get to tell us. You get to fulfill that. That's the reason why all of the names are 100% ambiguous in regards to the assigned gender. All of these names can be either masculine or feminine, or some state in between. It is up to you to inform that of us. But just so that you are aware, Beau, Peter Ravnos, is in fact from a family that immigrated here from Hong Kong, not just China. Hong Kong is, up until 1999, was technically separate from China. It was a British colony. It was a loaned parcel of land. That's the reason why Hong Kong was, for many years, the freest portion of China. His natural home language was Yue, or her natural home language was Yue. Would you like to know their birthday? I can give you that.
Well, the dice that I rolled decided for me that Olamide is mine.
Oh man, that's the
Olamide?
Get it.
Okay.
I want Mackenzie.
Oh, Ernie for Olamide, Jules Velásquez, born May 8th, the child of a Nigerian American family.
Can't believe my pick got taken by some dice.
Well, you should have said it so earlier.
I was listening. I'll stake
I'm
my
ready to see
claim.
Anya play a Ravnos. I'm ready.
Let's
I'll stake my claim on Jiang.
the Gangrel.
The Gangrel.
Oh, Jiang.
Oh, Jiang?
Jiang, yeah.
How do I properly pronounce this?
You tell us, but normally you can pronounce it as Jiang, depending. It's a tonal language, so you tell us what tone should we use to address you?
Jiang.
All right, there we go.
Jiang-
Their family is
Jiang
from
Guanyu
Shanghai.
Béringer.
Right, their family's from Shanghai. They were born on March 6th.
I'm taking Camille.
Meal.
Yeah.
I'll try Yin.
You're Countessa.
Hmm?
Countessa.
I should probably be sitting so I can actually type faster than hunting and pecking allows. And meal is in yeah.
There's a bear in the audience.
We're being recorded.
Shay, who did you say? I'm sorry.
Ventrue. Yin.
Ian. Nice. All right. Was that everyone? I believe that is everyone, isn't it?
1, 2, 3, 4. Anya wanted Chin. 5. Cherry wanted the Ventrue.
Yep.
6. Someone's missing.
Ernie, have you picked one?
Yeah, he's Olamide.
Oh yeah, right. I think everyone has one now.
I think so.
7.
5, 6, 3.
Okay, so that being the case, we will get rid of the rest of the randoms. Uzochi is now permanently an NPC. Boom! Gone. Jinwondu is gone. That leaves us. Reagan is gone. Is everybody purposely?
The Tory's not in the party.
Thank God.
It's alright, we have a Venture to give us the high society vibe.
You do.
Reagan
You
was my
do
second choice, to be
indeed.
fair. Well, third, I guess.
And we've got a Brujah, so according to the book, most coteries have a Brujah. So.
Yeah, but that's Brujah slander against everyone else.
This is Brujah propaganda.
Oh, no, it's perfectly slander against everyone else. They are definitely impugning everyone else's honor by saying that most coteries have a Brujah. Like, why would you ever stoop that low? Because as far as it goes, you know what a Brujah really is, right?
Muscle.
No, a Toreador who eats crayons.
Oh. That is a lot. I mean, how else did Tessa get that hair color?
Yep. You said it, not me.
I'm more so looking at that one intelligence Tessa had.
Cause and effect, you know?
So, I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to yell out a name and give you their birth date, not the year. You get a chance to tell me that, okay? All right, so Shay, their family is Irish American. And their birthday is September 8th. 10:13 p.m. to be exact. Olamide. Mm-hmm.
When you say year, are you talking year of embrace?
Year of life. you tell us how old they are, how long they've been kindred. These are the things that you're going to help us discover about them.
Okay.
Olamide is a Nigerian American. Home language is Yoruban, and they were born May 8th. Jiang is a Chinese American. Their family typically from Shanghai. Home language was Hakka, and their birth date was March 6th. Mackenzie, they are English. However, their family was originally from Singapore, and their birth date is October 9th. Camille, their family is French American from the Colmar-Hautevin Red Estates in France, and their birth date is July 23rd, 4:02 p.m. to be exact. Chin, their family is also Chinese American, but they are from Hong Kong, and they speak their home language was Yue, which their birth date is October 27th. And Yin, their family is from Sichuan, and they speak Wu as their home language, and their birth date was March 22nd. So as the lead-in to where we are, remember the randoms are former Lost Angels. That feeder program, that minor league team, for them to step forward into being a Howler or being a higher ranking member of the Los Angeles, they escaped that system. They found their niche. They found how to support themselves by utilizing their skills and their talents to carve out a small spit of land, where they have also carved out a series of juice shops which uses the rental properties and vacant properties in their small domain at their leisure. Now this is important because I'm sure that you all have noticed how fraught the local blood trade is. You've also, I'm sure, realized how dependent upon not just the local blood trade, but the national circulatory system the area is. For all of the tourists who traipse, drive, fly, walk, run, sail through the area, there are not enough humans, mortals, time to support the explosively large population of kindred. While it is true fact that of 100 kindred embraced over the course of a year, roughly 10 of them will survive that year. And of those 10 that survive that first year, an additional 3 will cease to be before half a decade. And of the remaining 7, only 4 of them typically will survive past the decade. A kindred's worst enemy outside of themselves are other kindred, followed by the countless mortal authorities out there in the world, followed by the other supernaturals out there in the world. And just when they think that they've mastered themselves and survived all of the many enemies that seek to depose them as an apex predator, they come face to face with themselves again, time and time and time over. Hunger kills kindred, and not just because they'll tear themselves apart for it, but their hunger, their beast, their darker impulses will also be reflective in non-life or death situations. How many times have you been at a grocery store or a gas station or having a spa day and someone's losing their ever-loving mind for little or nothing? You fucking forgot my ranch! I've never been so offended for a day in my life. How dare you look at me like that? And that's on a good day when the beast is mostly on the leash. That's when the drives and impulses of immortality, of forever, don't weigh the character down enough for the beast to fully subsume the driver's seat. That's a minor inconvenience. That's a minor loss, a failure of the moment, a fleeting less than nanosecond instance where the beast assumes control. And that's the reality. While the lives are in the blood, immortality exists and maintains itself through careful, constant, vigilant control and understanding of those darker impulses. All of those millions of negative voices and negative responses must be metered out and controlled and vented so that the kindred does not destroy themselves in the process of trying to seek forever. So it's July 20th, the year of our Lord 2023. There have been fires and floods and hurricanes and governmental malfeasance. There have been misappropriation of funds, abuse of authority, a defrauding of the public, and worse. And that was just Monday. And these characters have survived it all. So we find ourselves, where in the domain, where in their little spit of land do they typically meet to go over the necessary items? How many donors they're missing or gained, or where do they meet in their domain for them to have the opportunity to speak with any regularity, with any sense of security?
Obviously, the Waffle House.
I was just gonna say, I mean, totally the Waffle House.
No. There is absolutely no privacy in the Waffle House.
No.
I know that the man next to us at the Waffle House had 4 teeth pulled on Tuesday. There is no security in the Waffle House.
We could have also counted
One
the
of you
teeth
guys
of
are
the
managing
man
the
sitting in
franchise.
the opposite corner.
Yeah. What if the Waffle House is owned by the Ventrue?
The Waffle House has a party room. Private party room.
It's a really nice Waffle House.
It's a very
Most
nice
people,
Waffle House.
most people call that the bathroom.
I mean,
You meet the bathroom of the Waffle House and talk shit up.
the walk-in is not
No.
a bad place. Not like the cold's gonna affect us long term.
I
Pretty
actually
much
bought it from
right.
the franchise and renamed it Waffle House, with an AU.
Yes.
Yeah. Do it.
We actually, this is actually the Stroop Waffle House.
Be the most
Great
popular
stuff.
place in town, let's be honest. We wouldn't need that to be in the blood trade. We could just
This
be
is a-
millions.
This is a Waffle House of legendary status.
Does it have a second
Actually
floor?
is.
No, what
It
else?
actually does. Here's the thing. Most people, when you have this image of a Waffle House, you have it ingrained in your head. The bright neons, the yellows, the wall-to-wall windows, the floor-to-ceiling windows. You expect a certain consideration when you think of a Waffle House. However, this Waffle House here on Beach Boulevard is brick. There's a lower level. There's a raised porch with a ramp for access for the handicap to allow you to get into this Waffle House. It is a beautiful 2-story Waffle House.
Oh, yeah,
It has
totally
a-
runs
It has a almost 100-foot ramp system so that the handicap and the elderly can easily make their way up to the second floor to get into the Waffle House. Its parking lot is not littered with anything. The grounds are extraordinarily well kept, and immediately behind it is a huge weeping willow that hangs gently over the back corner of the building. At the end of the ramp, there's a huge, almost 2-car garage size bricked in structure for all of the garbage and the grease, and where the employees smoke and occasionally take the crates down and form little benches to sit on. This Waffle House is no mere Waffle House. This is a castle a secure, fortified position from which to wage war against the elements, hunger, and, well, the neighborhood drunk.
This is the most legendary Waffle House in existence, and I am here for it.
You did a good job on this one, Yen.
Thank you.
So as you
A
all...
lot of hard work and a lot of dead construction people.
Naturally.
Well,
That's how things get
with a
built,
little
right?
death between friends. What is a little death between friends? So here's the situation.
Only that weren't the first
You
time
all
I've
meet
heard
at the
that.
Waffle House. There's a lot for you all to discuss because, and I know this comes as a shock and a surprise, but the supply has been middling to almost non-existent for a while now. Now you guys do whatever it is you tell me you do to obtain additional merchandise, additional stock of donors that you store and utilize through various places across your domain. But the official supply, the supply that you all pay Los Angeles and the Howlers to provide, has been dwindling for months now. Back in February, Farrier disappeared. Farrier was a master spy of surveillance technology for both the Los Angeles and the Howlers. Back in February, poof, gone. Like he never even existed. Since then, the stock, both in terms of number and quality, have been dwindling. It's harder to organize operations when your chief expert of information technologies is no longer in existence. How can you monitor the police band? How can you make sure that you have the maximum access in and out of a place? How are you going to make sure that you could make certain people disappear, completely erase them from existence in all social media? Without Farrier, that security to make sure those things happen has disappeared. So you all have, unfortunately, the Los Angeles and the Howlers, have gone back to the old methodologies. Watching people, which takes time. And you have to learn if anybody knows them, if anybody cares about them. Do they have a wide circle of friends? Are they ostracized and alone? Do they float through life? Are they criminally minded? Do they engage in corporophilia? Do they otherwise isolate themselves and make themselves a potential victim to system? Are they easily manipulable? You can convince them that this is a good recourse for them. Maybe get them in one of the more professional juice shops. Maybe, train them up so they can work at either Basho or Yoru. However, that's a cost of manpower and time, effort, and energy. And sometimes you're not even successful when you do it that way. And some people can fight. Some people, have no problem emptying a clip when they get scared. Some people are quick to stab. There was one story you heard about this little old lady who carried bricks in her purse and beat off Garrence's sire, who was promptly beheaded, but we can't talk about that because you're not supposed to kill each other. But, there's a cost to be paid for getting your face plastered all over the interwebs by someone's grandma.
Yeah.
So here we are at the Waffle House. Server Reed, who has, for the 7th month straight, been the employee of the month, which shouldn't be possible. But they've managed to, every 22 days exactly, go into rehab for a weekend and clean themselves out. 48-hour hold, manage to cold turkey them their way off of nicotine and all of the other substances that they were suffering under. They managed to get a good hot shower. They managed to scrub away about 1.5 pounds of grease, making them look lighter and more refreshed. And every 26th day, they're back at work like nothing happened. And they didn't go away for an extended stay weekend in the middle of the week where the socks have grips on them. But Reed, as per the usual, is back. This is the 27th day, so he's bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Hey, how we doing, guys? Can I help you? Can I get you anything? Oh, hey, it's you guys. How we doing? Denver. Biscuits and gravy. I hear biscuits and gravy. Okay. So the usual basically is what I'm hearing, right?
Always the usual. You know us so well.
So if it isn't
I'll
my
go
favorite
get that up for you
employee-
guys. I'm sorry?
If it isn't my favorite employee,
Boss lady, how we doing? Hey, I gotta say that I'm really liking the switch that we made over to Blue Cross Blue Shield. The copay could be a little lower, but I'm not complaining. I'm very, very happy with the coverage.
Ian just stares at him.
That is 100% Shay laughing at this.
Oh wow!
Camille does
You
not
want
understand.
your usual chopstick sandwich? Extra bloody, like you like it. Side of A1. All right, I'm gonna get that started for you. I'll be right back.
Mhm.
And off he goes. For the 17 orders of biscuits and gravy, the Irish potatoes, the 6 Denver omelets, extra sides of bacon, ham, the chopstick sandwich, the grilled cheese, and most importantly, the 6 sides of grits. Gonna be exactly 24 minutes of uninterrupted peace at your table. What are you all discussing with the present situation that sits before you all?
Look, guys, this is a situation that needs to be fixed.
I'd agree. Do you have any ideas, or are you just going to complain?
We've done nothing but complain for the past couple of months. It's about time we start looking at alternative ideas.
I
We
like the
can't
sound
just
of that.
wait on them coming back to us. The angels are failing us. The howlers don't give a shit. We have to get out there on our own. We've been through this. We know what to do. We've gotta get our hands a little dirty.
Don't mind that.
Then do it.
I know it.
So what do you suggest? How?
It's the summer. It's the tourist season. There's plenty of solo travelers. One of us can figure out a cell phone, goddammit. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get lucky. It only takes one to get the ripple started. Someone always knows someone else. We could even possibly get a whole little group. They travel together. They think they have safety with their little groups and clans or whatever they call them nowadays. But makes them vulnerable, makes them weak. They get comfortable in these situations. They think vacations down here are safe. But that's where we come in.
Too many people checking out of the Hilton, though. Pattern shows up. And you know the problem with patterns.
Oh, we can't pull them from here, this part of town. We need to go somewhere else.
Where then?
This.
Why not
What
pull
about-
them from here?
What about
We got plenty
hosting
of options.
hosting some kind of event? draw them all in.
Because events that end up with missing people get investigated. You'd be better off with some tour bus accident or something.
That is very
No,
much
the 90.
good
The 90
point.
is right here.
The human police are watching things far too closely right now. There has been many deaths and many disappearances in the local community, and they are watching things very, very closely.
Well, who says we have to go local?
Where do you think you're going to go?
Boss Julie.
The port might be useful.
At a boat party?
We are right off of the coast. Bodies that go missing in the water often don't get found.
Heard rumors.
Out.
Mm-hmm.
Happens on those waters. Maybe we shouldn't.
What's
What are the rumors? What happens on the waters?
Sort of unexplained phenomena that gets written, or it used to get written in the Inquirer when that was a thing.
Not more ghost stories.
I like ghost stories. Go on.
Sounds like someone's trying to revive the Bermuda Triangle all over again.
Oh. Can we roll on my chart here?
Yeah, you can roll difficulty.
Yes. Information is often understood as power. The aphorism has been bled into the common zeitgeist. Even persons who have no idea who originally suggested or brought it to the masses understand that the idea of information equals power. That's not exactly true. Information is not power, it's an opportunity. The application of information is, in fact, where the power lies. The application of those whispered rumors is where the power lies, using those whispers to your will. Understanding what the gossamer thin strands of social interaction means and how to use it. How to unite all of those silken threads of nothingness securely enough to be able to even tie down lions is where the power is. Because one web means nothing. But if you were smart enough to take all of those little nothing bits of, and as the thoughts are beginning to tumble and the plan is beginning to form, goes without saying, Camille, even as invisible as you are amidst this group that you've come to rely on, even as covered and secure and camouflaged as you are, that motherfucker keeps staring at you, looking right down the heart of you, seeing you for the monster that you are, and they're sniggering. Who the fuck is drunk this early in the evening? The amateur's hour hasn't even ended, and this no good 2-bit piece of shit motherfucker is staring right down your gullet. So long story short, clear across the side of the restaurant, as is per usual at this hour of the evening, you have the table of older women and gentlemen who couldn't sleep. And so they come for the coffee. And they sit for hours on end laughing and looking at the world around them. Because they're not from this world. These modern days are so alien to everything that they knew that this is literally, even though they've grown up here. Well, that's a stretch of the definition. They've grown old here. They've propagated families. They become part of the community. It's still a new world. Every day for them is like being a ambulatory baby. They, right at this moment, are wearing diapers. They, right at this moment, are wearing pajamas underneath their barely clean, but clean enough, corduroy slacks. Those suspenders are over a short sleeve pajama top. And you know for a fact that in their car are at least 2 or 3 16 blankets. But this motherfucker, goddamn Harry, is staring down your throat. Even though he can't see your lips, you have your mask up, you have your hood down. Why the fuck is he staring? And sniggering. Isn't he too fucking old? Isn't he too just anything? But why is he focused on you? And watching your mannerisms. And meeting your eye. Doesn't even have the decency to look away.
Camille, you still with us? You've been staring.
I think we might have spectators.
You look like you're about to lose it. You good?
Oh, I'm fine.
The last time you said you were fine, we had to clean up.
Not gonna be one of those. Hopefully. But really,
It, in fact, is very much one of those.
Oh no.
Who's gonna mess up? Yeah. Come on, let's be honest with each other here.
I would like to remind you that you cannot do wrong in front of me, or I will have to make you disintegrate.
I can disappear and then do wrong. That makes it better.
It does not make it better if you do it in my house.
This was
Our
our
house.
house. Yeah.
You need us.
Last thing we
You
need
need
is to pay
that.
attention to this place. Everything we've put into this. Do you need to leave? Do we need to get you out of here?
He fucking elbowed his date. He elbowed his date. He's pointing with his coffee cup right fucking now.
I think that somebody needs to do something. She's gonna get up from the table if nobody stops her.
Whoa,
Oh god, they're
whoa,
both
whoa.
looking at you.
I'm gonna stop her.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm gonna grab her arm,
I grabbed the other arm.
pull her back to the table. Sit.
Take a seat.
Right.
Get yourself under control. This meeting is going to have to end. And you're going to have to solve our problem by yourself.
How about somebody gets that motherfucker to stop staring at me like some fucking cheesesteak?
Just pretend he's not there.
Camille, you can read lips. You're sure the fact that he said baby, a baby monster. What the fuck? Why is he talking about you right now? The fuck?
I'm sorry. This just can't stand. That motherfucker knows something.
You want me to escort him out? Will that help?
That's a start.
Me
Yeah.
too. He's drunk, disorderly.
Staring at me. He knows something we can't
Stick.
miss it. go like this.
Staring into your soul.
Get him outside.
I'm going to go to the bathroom while y'all deal with this problem. I walk to the back, and under cover of darkness, I transform into my dog form. Walk around the corner and start snarling.
In the Waffle House?
I walked out of the Waffle House.
Into the parking lot.
Yeah. I am roughly 20 feet away. Just in the shadows. Starting to snarl.
Okay, so let's take it back a little bit, and we're going to move roughly turn by turn. So what happens at this moment as Camille is being restrained, politely and gently verbally as well as physically? There are several scathing things you all could have said. There are several more visceral things you could have done to maintain control over Camille. Because as strong as they are, the truth of the matter is, there's strength in numbers. And sometimes the beast needs to be put into its place. Because there's no way that any of you all who have had the opportunity of surviving long enough to get to this point have not been in equal measures of put out by your own voices. The voices of past lovers and family members. The nettling, excoriating gaze of all of those who has something even remotely less than positive to say about you over the course of your lifetime and death. That's what the beast does. It gets into your head. It crawls through your skin and seizes control. And while it very much is the worst thing possible, it is also one of the many things that bind you all together in understanding. You've all been there. You've all had the opportunity of being victimized by your own worst thoughts. So while you all are, in fact, extraordinarily kind, extraordinarily gentle, the fact of the matter is, it is as sure of a bet as has ever been done that eventually Camille will get their hands on that particular regular. And then the doing and the understanding of this, as this is being understood and grasped, Jiang exits from the table. Who moves over to speak with Harry to escort him out?
It'll get up.
Olamide is very much the polished, put together sort. She was formerly a law student, so as face card, she would probably do best.
So is it a group togetherness so that neither one of you get outnumbered by your own beast? Does Olamide Chin go over together, or is it one backing up the other, or is it just one of you all?
I'll
okay
back
with
Olamide up.
Yeah, I'm okay with heading back up.
Behind.
So as Olamide and Chin head over, Sherry, where'd you go? What were you saying?
I look at Camille and I say, sit. And I use dominate.
Which lovely dominate ability do you choose to use?
That
Sounds
would
like
be
compel. Oh.
Well, there is always a higher level that you could potentially have used, but compel works. That being the case, Camille, to set the difficulty and see if it's actually effective, would you be so kind as to roll your intelligence plus resolve as high as possible?
Okay. At any hunger?
Then, of course, we can safely assume that everyone's at a hunger one. You all, after all, do get high on your own supply. You do supply donors.
DC 2. 3.
Yes, it's one higher than that. So, that being the case, yeah,
I'm supposed to roll charisma plus dominate, but I don't know how much dominate I have.
you tell us 1 or 2 dots of dominate.
2.
All right, there you go.
Nice.
So, like the coldest of ice baths, the heat of your anger, the heat of your beast is ripped from you as you obey the very directly stated sit. While that's happening, at Harry's table, Olamide, what's your wits? If it's 2, no, I'm sorry, if it's 3 or higher, you don't have to roll. And the same for you as well, Yin. If your wits are 3 or higher, you don't have to roll.
It is.
Whose stats am I using though?
Yes.
Well, Emmys are 2, but I would think a law student would be a little smarter.
Yeah.
Well, wits isn't actually smart. It's the ability to think on your feet. The intelligence is your gas, which gets the engine going. Your wits is your ability to turn the steering wheel, basically. So the brain power is off the charts, but how quickly you respond to what's in front of you is another matter entirely. In that case, would each of you be so kind as to roll? All you have to do is not fail. A wits plus awareness. All you have to do is not fail.
I'm good.
And while that roll is happening, and we await for fate's decision. Dennis, you made us. Let's try this again. Take 37. Jiang, you make it outside. There are several things bombarding the inside of your understanding of the evening and what lay ahead of you. One of the things that you don't expect, being a wily, understanding naturalist as far as things are concerned. There's a reason why the entire parking lot had been blacktopped and had been maintained. It's to minimize the exposure to flora and fauna that could be used to otherwise scout and impugn the agency of your domain. So as you exit and you move across the lot to that shadowed space just on the back side of the parking space between the trees on the outside of what is easily traversable ground, you remember the fucking fact that Mohana invited you all to a gathering that they were hosting to discuss what effectively is the fall line and the plans that are unfurling for Los Angeles. Because even though you all are not Los Angeles, you are basically alumni. So there's a certain amount of grace that you all are extended. And while that's a consideration for you, as Camille is settled and Olamide and Yin make it to the table. Sorry, I said Yin. Chin make it to the table. You realize the thing that is the scariest thing about being slightly removed from modern society. The technological advancements for disabilities the life age and people's vanity. You get to the table and you realize that Harry is in fact quite blind. And his talking and nudging isn't just him staring at Camille. It is him also getting the description of what's on the menu. It is him getting the description of what's going on around him. And yes, he is completely far more inebriated than any person should be, let alone an elderly senior blind person. But he is, in fact, completely and totally blind. On the table, there between the coffee cups of him and his girlfriend, because you know that's not his wife. He's been here long enough to know that his wife died 10 years back. But him and his girlfriend, there is, in fact, the walking stick that he refuses to use. There is, in fact, the glasses which he should use so that people will have an inclination, but refuses to because they make him look old.
This does not faze Olamide because she was going to come over very polite and clears her throat, leans towards the table. Aunties, uncles, I'm very glad you are having a good time this evening. And I was wondering if there's anything that I might be able to do to help you guys along. Maybe pay for your meal this evening, if you would let me. Just to speed things up.
Oh no! We've got to spend what we have. We don't want the grandkids to end up with any of it. They're on that math that you hear about all the time. I told him it was a bad idea for him to move to, you know how dirty and disgusting Ohio is. But their parents were all sad about moving to the north. They wanted to see snow. And here we are 30 years later and the kids are math addicts. Not math, the lowest. Crack. It's that new stuff. No, they're mathletes. We got them pictures in the Christmas letter. They are mathletes. Oh! Why didn't you say so? They have those methadone clinics for mathletes. Yeah, they get dressed up in all those fancy robes and hang out with their friends doing math all the time. Their parents were telling me that they had to go to this far out center for them to hopefully, win something at the program for them to stop being math addicts. Yep, that's a damn shame, Dolores. What'd you say about buying the next round? I'll take a bourbon, neat. No, she wants to buy a meal for us. I don't really like meals. How about a nice soup?
She just turns around and walks back to the meeting.
I'm watching from outside. I can't hear a thing, but I'm just tilting my head, confused as all can get.
I can do that. That sounds wonderful. I will make sure that happens for you. I just wanted, you seem so lively. I needed to come over and get some of that energy that you have. Thank you for entertaining
me. Oh, thank you so kindly. A nice soup would be something different. I'm tired of drinking my lunches. It's not lunch, Harry. We're at dinner. No one has dinner this late. This has got to be lunch.
It could be
and so the
breakfast.
conversation continues.
She's walking by the windows and she looks outside and sees the dog in the parking lot. And she just throws up her hands with that universal gesture of, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I swear sometimes he'd rather be a stray.
I don't know what he's doing. He does this all the time. I'm convinced he's trying to ask us to walk him, but he just doesn't want to tell us outright.
I'd like.
Because
Okay,
you guys bought him the damn squeaky toy for
Okay,
Christmas. I knew it was a bad joke.
I've realized
Way
nothing's wrong. I'm walking back around the back. I'm coming back inside.
As a dog?
No, not as a dog. It's just...
Oh no, you're our pet now. You're our mascot. You better come back inside in your fur.
If you're coming
You're
in,
our
put it on
service
the back.
dog.
The insanity of it all. Everything conflates, combines, and joins, and turns into something completely different. There's a literal chemical reaction for Olamide as you get to the table. There is an immediate flash of lightning behind the eyes as you engage with Harry and Dolores. There is an R. Several, easily a score and a half of outreach centers, programs that utilize certain territories, certain buildings, certain gathering places around the coast. In these places, you meet those who are in fact addicted, suffering from X, Y, Z, or the other. A lot of times they are in fact older addicts, those with emotional issues, those who've been turned out by the state or are on the state dole. Those persons doing the research, the due diligence to find out who they're connected to, how often they might have visitors, and a safe way to make them disappear. It's literally taking candy from a baby. And you just happen to know that right now, over at the Barlow Charter Service, Riley Briggs and her associates are conducting what amounts to an open house for the creation of identities that you all could form to get onto those program lists and get access to all of those elderly, cast-off outsiders that you could use to feed into your coffers. Because after all, when you really think about it, yeah, Happy Meals have gone up, but a adult person to live on 2 Happy Meals a day and have enough caloric intake to not lose weight, to not go insane with hunger, and plus it comes with a free drink. So for the price of a Happy Meal, 2 per day, you could feed several adults from that program who are typically malnourished anyway, who are typically forgettable anyway, who are typically swept under the rug and cast off by society anyway. You just need identities that don't connect to you.
We could get the meals as a charitable donation.
I like that idea.
So Olamide, the presentation of this information to your coterie, to your crew, to your people. And not that I'm saying, you know, screw you guys as a crew or record label. No, nothing like that. We're not gonna hit them up. But this is what Olamide has understood and knows is happening, not now, but right now.
After she makes sure that they put the soup in for the guy and gives him the table number, when she returns to the group, I just had the most wonderful of ideas. They triggered for me. We can get our hands on older people easily. There's a program. Exactly. There is a program currently going on at the docks that sets us up as somewhat of a caretaking position, and the cost it would take us to feed these people twice a day would fall under what we would gain from using them. And it would entertain them and keep them contained. And then when their time has passed, you know, we...
Well, I'm sure it would make some of them happier to have the interaction.
Well, I'm sure we could get up to it.
Yes, what was that program back some time ago? Big Brothers, Big Sisters, but for old people.
As long as you don't expect me to drink from them, that's disgusting.
Oh, it's not that bad.
You have a little age on your life. It's blood. We can't always be picky. You know that better than most, don't you?
You can't always be picky. I have standards.
Standards is one way to put it. I think it's a good idea. And if we're very smart about it, we could funnel some of the cost of feeding them through your business. Give you little tax breaks on the other end. Nothing says business like charity.
True.
Senior discount.
The senior discount, meal program for the local elderly, perhaps.
We're gonna have to see more of them here.
This is actually not a bad idea when you consider, you know, in that age bracket, heart attack is perfectly normal.
No one would be surprised when they drop.
They usually don't even
You
get
know,
off
in
the
some
stage.
in some parts of the country, the families will even pay for the honor of having their loved ones in a place like this.
I'm glad we are mostly in agreement.
It'll get the job done.
But to further this, we have to go right now to meet our person to hook us up with this how to get started situation. We have to go right now.
Well, then consider
take
this
them
meeting
here
adjourned.
anyway.
Those of you who scored 1 success, go on, Camille.
Is going to look expectantly at Yen as we start talking about going away from here.
I'm not, no. I'm not gonna release you yet. We're not done.
Nope. I'm still holding Camille, regardless.
You can release me now.
Looks over to Ian. Should I?
Are you certain?
Yes.
And for your information, the dude's blind. Wasn't even looking at you.
He was probably looking at past you, if anything.
You really think he's
He
blind?
literally is still looking at you, Camille.
Still
He literally is still looking at you, Camille.
I don't believe
Look, Camille, look. I'm gonna solve this problem real easy. I'm just place my hand over Camille's eyes. No, he's not looking at you. Or you don't know that he's looking at you.
Get your hand off of me.
Can't just stand in front of her. That looks weird.
I remove my hand away.
Thank you.
He's
Gracious.
fucking pointing at you with his fork. Who eats soup with a fork? He's pointing at you with his fucking fork.
We should probably get
Very
these meals
clearly
to go.
staring at me.
No. This man's behavior also might let us look into a niche market of those who like to drink from
Orcs?
addicts.
Oh.
Well,
Wait, they're addicts?
Alcohol.
He's a drunk.
Sure.
he's acting like one.
Watch us get a bunch of drunks and geriatrics, and they're all just on their Alzheimer's meds. Maybe it would help some of us a little. Let's get these meals to go and get going. You can drop them off somewhere on the way. We can't waste another minute, or else this one's gonna completely lose her shit.
Oh, courage, isn't it?
He's not driving, right?
God, no. We made that mistake last time.
And he's riding in the backseat, right?
There are too many red light cameras, and it's okay. We'll find a way to open the window for you, puppy.
Good.
So,
I'm gonna go up to
short
the counter and get our order changed to to-go boxes so we can get the hell out of here.
Short story long, you all managed to extricate yourselves from your headquarters, your center of operations, the center of your universe. Because there's several landmarks throughout your little spit of land, your little domain, that is in fact decent enough for you all to utilize. But between every other space in your domain, from Howard down to Beach Boulevard, the Waffle House is the beating heart and soul of your domain. Not the Hilton, not the church on the other side of Bellman, not the golf cart rentals, not the 1800s cottage. No, the Waffle House is it. The Waffle House is literally the place. Not the NAACP Biloxi branch, not the Boys and Girls Club. No, it is the Waffle House. It signifies what you have and what you are willing to maintain under every circumstance. Your little slice of freedom. And it's telling that even without you all being officially recognized as a power of any sort, you don't get your coteries name graffitied up anywhere. There's no etchings of the randoms spread throughout Biloxi. There's no warning of be careful when you cross Bellman, the randoms will get you. No, but there is a quiet word of mouth that you all happen to be a competent, functioning coterie that operates several shoe shops. Most people don't realize, most of the outsiders don't realize that it's all just one juice shop that you all move from place to place throughout your domain. Because nothing says safe like anonymity. And if you can't have anonymity, you have to maintain a moving target. And from one or two nights of operating a juice shop in one of the few or many rental places throughout your domain, or one of the vacant properties throughout your domain, provides enough financial support you all can pay off the local cops. You can donate and give to the Boys and Girls Club. You can make a charitable donation to the local NAACP. You can make sure that the Waffle House stays busy enough, legitimately and illegitimately, to wash your funds, your monies, into liquid currency for your code. 1 or 2 nights a week, and you rake in the money, which is the reason why the reduction in product, while the reduction in merchandise, is causing such need. Without that influx of cash, without the support and security of being relied upon as juice shop, your little spit of land can easily be swallowed up by either the Hakata, other anarchs, because you know you keep what you kill, or, and here's the part that makes it really, really piss poor to consider, there are several motorcycle clubs that rove through Biloxi. There are several motorcycle clubs that rove and roam across the Secret Coast. There are several unofficial gangs, crews, and organizations that make their lucre their daily bread in the most illegal of ways. Without the money, to buy the support, without the juice shops to keep the moral support, any one of those organizations would very much and directly and easily move in, creating problems for you all. Because it is close. Your little spit of land, your little route, has access to the hotel, the Waffle House, the Boys and Girls Club, the church on the other side of Bellman, the Early Learning Center, which is really just a school. It's enough activity and money flowing through and around your little spit of land that makes it attractive to any and all who engage in even the remotest of illegal activity. No juice shop, no protections. Poorly run juice shop, no protections. So getting to meet Riley Briggs, that you can arrange an organization, you can have access to one of the many shelf companies she sells, that she can put you into the trust of, the executor of those trusts, of those shelf companies, is an important moment. You gotta get to Barlow's Charters there at the dock, just across from Skipper Charter and the Biloxi Shrimping Strip. Right there across Fish Finder Charters. That little back bay, right next to the Hard Rock, is your life's blood on the line. So how do you guys get there? You guys can walk, of course. You drive, of course. Or how else might you all cover that small, forever bit of distance?
Well, I'm stuck to the seat.
You're not driving.
We're in the chair. It's actually legal to have people ride in the cab of a truck.
You mean the bed?
Sorry, yeah, the bed. So
I like this idea.
Can, fit everybody.
A van or anything we can use? Are we gonna sit in the back of a truck? Sure. It's just attracting a little bit of attention.
I like the truck idea. People do it all the time.
I figure between multiple cars, we should be able to pull this up. I have my PT Cruiser, and that fits 4.
Best not to all travel in the same car anyway. Not that we're exactly a target, but we don't want to make things easy.
I've got the Chevy. Whoever wants to pile in there with me.
I call the truck bed.
Don't hop out of it.
I think I'll be going with Olamide.
Well, don't drive.
I'll go with Shay. Shotgun.
Keep an eye.
I have a nice SUV.
That sounds good.
It's always the Ventrue, isn't it?
None of the rest of you seem to be competent at anything.
And yet, you need us around.
Everyone can use some muscle.
Keep you around, definitely. Not for the entertainment value.
The funny thing is, there are several ways to get anywhere. Especially leaving the Waffle House to get to 90. Now, where it becomes difficult is, if you do, head straight south from the Waffle House, you run directly into 90. The only problem is the side of 90 that you run into, there's no crossing. There is no safe place to go except for the wrong direction as to where you need to be. You have to go up, towards water, over to Bellman, down across 90. And you can get where you need to be. Because you can take 90 down to Ducati and cross 90 again to go past the U.S. Biloxi Memorial Park, down past Barlow's Charters, and get to your location. It's out of the way on purpose. It's brilliant planning because you can see literally everyone and anyone who has the idiotic idea of going to meet a deceitful, devious information broker at this hour of the evening. The parking lot to get where you need to get to meet Riley is a buzz and activity, even though most people know you shouldn't be going on your boat once literally having one cocktail too many, which is one cocktail at all. However, to get to the little shack, the little space that she has assigned for these meetings, to purchase the shelf companies and put in an appearance, it's a social interaction. Criminals meeting criminals, becoming friends with other criminals, honor amongst thieves, and backstabbings are us. But to get there, you literally put a spotlight on yourselves. That parking lot is one of the most well-lit places in this portion of Biloxi. You'd think that would scare away most criminals, that would make the dirty dealings that are happening impossible. But instead, that security of being able to see if anyone or anything approaches makes it all the safer. So you all pull in, taking several slots and slips in the parking lot. And there's roughly 75 feet from the parking lot along the pedway to get to that raised, effectively a shed. But it's a story and a half, raised a story and a half, allowing you to see the entirety of the parking lot and everyone approaching. The slips of the yachts and boats and the small water vessels that are there in the back bay only adding coverage because they're constantly moving with the water, with the waves, and bobbing up and down. So focusing on if there's someone laying on a deck or hiding inside one of the cabins is an impossibility. Another added layer of security. Those of you with a wit of 3 or higher don't need to roll. Those of you with the wits of 2 have the opportunity of rolling. If you would be so kind to do so with a wits plus larceny DC 3 as you all arrive in your separate vehicles to the parking lot to make that 75-foot walk to get into the meeting where all of the other criminals, all of the other members who are purchasing shelf companies and engaging Riley Briggs for the services to disappear or to reappear as someone else electronically in the systems that matter.
Three successes.
Mine is above 3.
All right.
Also about 3.
So, those of you who have rolled 3 successes, and those of you who have 3+, Riley Briggs is a very dangerous sort of criminal. They have ethics. They're a true believer. They have morals, and they engage in contract work for the width and breadth of the criminal element of Biloxi and other places along the coast. They are a ghost in the machine. When they do a thing or they fix a thing, it stays fucking fixed. So as you all exit your vehicles and take a gander around the parking lot, there's a very real part of your lizard survivor's brain that screams, get the fuck out, because this is dangerous. Those yachts bouncing there in the back bay, you are sure at least 2 of them have watchers. People sitting there with phones up to their ear or listening to music low enough that you can the waves crashing against the hulls. You are sure that there's a security or a sentry walking the veranda around that raised structure where you're supposed to meet with the other criminals. You are sure in your paranoid little brain that you caught a glint of something flashing on the roof of the hotel across the bay. It means that something or someone is watching from a distance, and you know, but as sure as you need blood, that is someone who is in the employ of Riley fucking Briggs. Those of you with a streetwise of 2 or higher, you've had the opportunity of reading Riley or doing business with Riley Briggs before. Riley very rarely is ever anywhere that she says she's going to be, even though she is competent and completely reliable in delivering what she says. Doing business with Riley is like being one of Charlie's angels. You got a speaker box or a live cast from somewhere else in the world. And so seeing the security, glimpsing the edges of it, the flashes of something reflecting off of a spyglass of some sort, knowing that there are sentries watching, knowing that the moment you step out of the car, anyone with eyes in all of this bright light will see you all. And those of you who are beautiful, well, while you're accustomed to being stalked and watched, it very much does feel like stepping out on center stage. Curtains going up, the band is playing. The audience holds their breath and their applause watching you. A million eyes focused on your least twitch. A million ears waiting for your softest whisper. Bated breaths held.
Jen?
This is gonna cost us.
Yep. Do you think it's a good idea that all of us are showing up?
Probably not. But we're here.
We are here.
I say we make the best of it.
Just don't lose your shit.
It won't.
It already happened.
Don't lose it again.
Okay, KJ.
You know that guy right now. That guy, that fucking asshole right now is probably laughing at his wife. They pulled one over on you.
Didn't pull one over on me and everyone else.
Sure, if that's how you feel it. Let's go. She's already here. If there's this much security, she's waiting. She's expecting a busy night.
Let's make it this
Well,
way.
problem.
part of the reason that Riley is successful is that she has security, right? Like,
We should be
a
taking
surprise.
Yeah. Probably. Come on, Shay, let's go.
Yep.
We're gonna walk towards the building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so several things happen at once, as they always do. We're gonna experience and explore this together. But first, I need each of you all to do me a favor and roll your stamina plus composure DC as high as you possibly can. And then we're going to tell you what to do with that later. But for right now, go ahead and roll that, mark it so you can come back and make sure what number that is for later. So as you all cover that 75 foot distance, looking like something out of everyone's favorite action movie, looking like something out of everybody's favorite mafia movie, looking like something that Hollywood spent multi-millions of dollars and several hundred camera angles to get just right. The breeze blowing in off of the bay, causing your clothing to gently be caressed and lifted. The night birds overhead adding just the right ambience to the threat that is the randoms. You all are a threat, because here's the thing. Everyone understands that there is power in information. Everyone understands that there is strength in numbers. And they always get it wrong. It's the application of that information. It is the unified, purposeful, intentionally minded unity of those numbers. Working together towards a goal, utilizing information provided to you all, makes you all a threat. Makes you all a competent, capable, functioning unit. You all don't have to like each other. In a lot of days, a lot of nights, you don't. One of the many things that is the basis of having forever ahead of you. Some nights you can't stand each other. Some nights you can't even stand yourself, so it's not anything in the grand scheme of things. And then those nights pass. Then those moments pass. Like has very little to do with the safety and security of your unified goals, of extending your nights forever. It takes a dedicated focus on one foot in front of the other, no matter what comes. It takes a focused attenuation that no matter what troubles arise, if you all work together with what you know and what you learn, wholeheartedly dedicated, there's no defeat possible. You may not have the success you want, to the level you want, but there is no defeat. Because every little bit of knowledge, every little bit of information, every little bit of unity moves you further and closer to that perfect, purposeful, safe, secure, forever night. So as you arrive at the structure, take the steps up that story and a half, and you're greeted by security. And one of the things that you know when you're actually in a secure place and not just hiding behind the theater of security, they don't bother to check you for weapons. They don't bother to pat you down. They don't bother to wand you for electronics. In fact, in appearance, actual security makes it seem as if there is no security. None of the paranoid behaviors that you expect going to the airport or a train station or during the day when the marshals and park services and border patrol and Homeland Security are moving through this space as if they are fighting an actual war on the streets. None of that. The young lady in her wife beater and freckled shouldered skin looks you all up and down and recognizes you all. Oh, you're the randoms. Been expecting you all. Which one of you are Olamide or Chen or Yin or Camille or I don't know any of you guys honestly, but you guys are on the list. You're expected.
Lovely.
Well, it's a stone's throw from your domain supposedly, so it would be rude to not put you on the list. Luckily, you're here. We'd offer aperitifs or appetizers, but we know that none of that shit really matters. You guys are here to do business. You can go inside, take a number from the young lady sitting at the desk, and we'll get to you. There's an auction going on. There's a nice healthcare facility that you all could take over, or somebody could take over management of and have access to at least the healthcare system. It's not a full-fledged trauma unit, but it gets you in the system at least. So, there's something. Oh my god, no one told me you guys had a dog. She crouches down. Hey there, boy. How we doing?
Don't bite. I wouldn't.
That's our
suggest
little
it.
mascot.
Don't you lie.
I like this woman so much.
Thank you for your hospitality and being prepared for us. Well, you hope to continue
sure
a
thing,
healthy
sure thing.
business relationship. Let's go inside.
Yep, Benny says we need to be nice to everybody. Come on in.
Gotta be nice. Benny makes the rules.
Yeah, but I won't have to listen too long. I'm gonna be a howler soon.
Good luck with that, sweetheart.
Are you?
As
Oh, yeah.
predictions.
Well, my sire was a howler. I'm only doing this just to learn the ropes. And then I'm gonna be a howler.
We'll get there.
I wish you the best.
I
Nothing
believe in
but
you.
Nice! Thanks, guys!
High
And yes,
five.
very much a late 90s Mentos commercial when she says, thanks, guys. Full extended thumb, smile bright enough to be blinding.
I want to high five her.
Tessa's losing it over there.
She high fives with the full, both knee bent backwards leap.
Oh my
Does
god.
it freeze frame
Yeah.
too?
You got it, hon.
There's a freeze frame and sparkles, and it just.
120% yes.
Amazing.
You're not sure how she freeze framed in the middle of night, but she pulled it off. The only thing worse than your feelings in that moment when you move past her, you all keep it together. There's a bit of happiness. There's a bit of joy in that consideration because yes, for those who have a leg up, for those who have outside considerations, for those whose aspirations are relatively small, being beholden to the howlers is not horrible. It's safety and security. But you all have had the opportunity of tasting relative freedom, not at the behest of some other mind, not at the behest of someone else's beast. You all, by working together, have had the opportunity of standing on your united own feet and choosing your path forward. And again, as far as domains go, as far as sheer space and volume and all of the trappings that other more powerful individuals have, it's nothing. But it is yours. It is freedom. It is the opportunity of choosing your path forward as long as you are responsible for whatever those choices dictate. And as safe and secure as it is, the idea of being a howler, the idea of being a lost angels, you would not give away what freedoms and responsibilities you have to save your immortal souls, because you are beholden to each other. You're beholden to yourselves. You are not at the mercy of anyone or anything. You're not Luke number 3. You're not Luke number 4. You're not the little bad guy number 47. You guys are the randoms. That
Fucking
means something.
randoms.
I know it's not our official coterie name, but I kind of want it now to be.
I mean, it should be.
It
It
is our
should be.
official coterie name.
It's already
They're on the
official.
map.
Yeah.
So you all So you all enter the space. And as is always the case in these relatively open air markets, the valuable assets are usually always the last ones. The soap companies that have access to either oil, drug, larger medical, not just the clinics and urgent care centers, but the actual access to the medical complex. Maybe not a full trauma rating, but close enough that you can get 1 or 2 additional blood bags every couple of weeks. Not close enough to an actual trauma center where you get access to, doctors, but you could teleconference doctors. You could, get access from a distance and get access to certain people's personal medical records. Those companies, those sorts of access, those that are loosely connected with law enforcement, those that are loosely connected with social services, those that are loosely connected with telecommunications, those are always the later companies. Those come further into the event. So you are here effectively perfectly timed, because you haven't gotten to the high money identities and companies and trusts and estates and corporations and consortiums and all of that bullshit, the highfalutin, high power shit. You guys managed to get here just as the neighborhood bodegas and the urgent care and the who needs a fucking shoe repair company in this day and age? But lo and behold, there is one. It's almost as laughable.
If we were to go into healthcare, then those premiums that the employees pay, we could have them go to our clinics and pay ourselves.
Never hurts to have another source of income.
Nope.
Close the loop a little bit.
I like the
And
sound
then
of
we'll
it.
know if any of them are ill.
Make sure we're drinking clean.
Well, anyway,
Now,
sorry.
Now, who amongst you is actually a Lasombra? Is anyone?
Didn't somebody pick this on?
Let's say I thought it was Elise that picked
No,
this
Tessa.
one. Tessa, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why that's of any relevance, because as you all enter and you're talking amongst yourself, you realize that between each window is a 72-inch screen. On that screen is the masked visage of Riley, which is the other thing. When she teleconferences in, she's always wearing a mask, otherwise altering her presentation. So if you're being perfectly honest with yourself, no one really knows what she looks like. You all know or suspect that they are a she. But there's really no proof of it. There are maybe, out of the 1,200 known criminals that operate in and around the coast, maybe 3 that could say they've been in the same room with Riley ever. At least so. Not rumor of a rumor. Nah, man. Riley's not even her real name. Riley is the acronym of all the letters of the people that she's killed over the years. You want to ask me how I know? I was there at Caribou Coffee with her back in 1984 in Pascagoula. What do you mean? Caribou Coffee didn't even come to the Mississippi coast until 2002. Oh yeah, no, it was the prototype. It was the pre-Caribou. We called ourselves Reindeer Coffee. Yeah, I gotta go. So, provably so, there are 3 of the 1,200 known successful criminals who've been in a room with Riley. And of those 3 provable entities who exist in the same space with her at the exact same time, none of them can agree on anything about it. Except for that Riley is a she. Except for that Riley is strangely magnetic. Riley is a whirling dervish, and she's always doing 4 or 5 things at once. Her thumb is going absolutely as she's talking to you and jotting down a sketch at the other hand. That's the only thing that these 3 have ever confirmed about Riley. So seeing the masked visage of Riley on those, nothing new. The educated criminals, the experienced criminals, which you all happen to be part of. This is normal. The thing that shocks you is the fact that these screens, they're not on the fritz. You know you're not the only magister present. You know you're not the only magister who clearly has been in this building before. But the fact that the screens seem to be shielded. You know your effect. There should be some static. You're not going to cause it to short out or explode or anything, but being this close, there should be some static in those screens. There should be some wavering or flickering of the image. There is none.
Is something wrong with you? Mackenzie? You feeling alright?
I mean, I was. But now I'm starting to question things.
What are you questioning?
I mean, the technology should be freaking out. It should. There's no way I'm the only one.
So, what? Some sort of magic?
And I walk up to him like, the screen, see if it's like, is it the pixel or is it like glass or something?
There is a inch thick shielding of glass around each of the screens.
Clever.
To make injury most insulting, the glass, being an inch thick, is clearer and cleaner than all of the vehicles you have been in for the last 6 years. There's no way they literally paid someone that much money to make sure that fingerprints are, well, all of these screens are virtually smudge proof. That's how much cleaner have been applied. And the fact that you clink against the screen, Riley on all of the other screens is staring at you at this moment. Excuse me, could you not?
Just curious.
Don't be curious, be rich, have money. Next up, we're gonna be talking about a McDonald's. It is part of a 7 location chain provided with all of the tax numbers, and so needless to say, Riley begins continuing her sales pitch for the Shell companies. You've gotten up to the restaurants. At
I
this
already
rate,
like Riley. She talks like a valley girl.
this rate, you know that is not much longer until the really valuable. Because a restaurant part of a chain, there's an automatic built-in loss and profit ratio. You can hide and wash most things. A 5% uptick in profitability will completely go under the radar. And if it's self-maintaining, all you do is to just lightly cook the books. A small error here, a couple of extra ones there. Before you know it, you're raking in far more than most people expect. Because the profit margins are so slim, if it's already managed and self-maintaining at a certain profit level, increases, small ones will go completely unnoticed. There are a few bids, that everything's moving apace, basically. Everything's moving through the process of the evening. You've all been at these things, or one of these things, or heard of these things often enough that this is the way that it's supposed to be. Not. Because you all are here and going along with the flow and waiting to gather your time and get to the identities you all want to purchase for yourself companies, get this going, you realize that all of the security here inside are Los Angeles. All of the security outside are Los Angeles.
So, random question. What's Benabar's thought on people not being in one of the 2 core gangs?
You're disposable commodities. If you're not with her, as long as you're not an asshole, you're roughly fine, but you are still just a commodity. What can you do? What are you purchasing? How are you helping them? And if you're not, well, fuck off.
Yeah.
Until there's a time to sacrifice you all. But here's the thing, and why that's noticeable to you all, and why that's actionable to you all. The Los Angeles are not a small organization. The Los Angeles are not an invisible entity. The Los Angeles and the Howlers have innumerable enemies waiting in the wings. You all are effectively at a party. And like everyone who's been to house parties and they're wild watching youths, you realize that you're in the party where someone has already said, hang on, I'll be right back. You are at a party where someone said, you and who? You are at a party where someone said, who them over there? You are at a party where outsiders are food, and realize that you are the only one who don't have a family member, girlfriend, boyfriend, as one of the regulars. You are at a party, you are at a party, and realize your friends, your cousins, your co-workers, your boss, they already left 3 shots ago.
Olamide leans over to Ian, who they made sure to sit next to. We need to make this quick and get out of here as soon as possible. We need to know what we are going to give and take for them, and then leave.
I agree. Stay together until then.
We can't afford to be singled out. Our only protection is being together.
I'm not going anywhere.
You better not.
Trust me, darling. It'll be fine.
We're just here for business. That's fine. Huh?
Then it happens. There's always a before and an after. And those who survive the before into the after always say, and things were happening so fast. That's never actually true. What happens in traumatic situations? While your eyes take in everything, even if you try not to, while your senses take in the entirety of the situation where you are, it sees everything. However, your mind, your brain, not your mind, but your brain is smarter than all of us in those situations. To protect you from the trauma of what you are experiencing, it will blur things. It will cause the focus on those moments to soften. So everything feels like it's moving faster. Your adrenaline is pumping. Your heart rate is up. You're taking in hundreds of millions of bits of information. And your mind, your brain, to protect you, tells you, no, you don't need to worry about that. No, don't look over there. It's, no, don't do that. Everything blurs together. So one person falls, the next person goes. There's screams. On the movies, explosions are super loud and deafening, and bullets sound as if they are mosquitoes made of metal. None of that actually happens in the real world. Explosions are deafening, but it's the bass, the sonic vibration that hits you. You don't really hear much. Bullets are not mosquitoes made of metal. There are these loud, sound barrier threatening pieces of death. Your mind registers these things in the moment. Humans, the living, the breathing, you get adrenaline and all those other drugs trying to keep you safe, and your mind fuzzing out the edges. Kindred don't have that. They remember it, and their minds and their brains operate in a similar way, but they don't have those mechanisms. They don't have those chemicals bombarding their systems. What they have, as in the case of you all, hell has come to this meeting. There are tactically suited, you're not sure whether they're thin blood or kindred or ghouls, but they're moving in with the viciousness you all have very seldomly ever had to experience up close and personal. There's a snarling wolf woman in a flat jacket over a white beater, there's a pair of Hulk handcuffs hanging from her belt as she moves through, breaking limbs, shooting people at point blank range. And there's a gleaming 50 caliber in her hand, and they are blatantly and daringly moving through the gathered assemblage. They're taking out every visible known lost angel as they move through. There's about 10 of them, counting the noises you hear outside. So this is the part where it gets fun. You all tell me how you all survive, because your rolls that you made, subtract that from 7. That's how many wounds you suffer in your attempt to either escape or fight.
Subtract from 7, you say?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got 5, so I took 2.
Shit.
4.
Took 3.
Probably gonna.
Or I took 4. Yeah.
I took 4. And as my comment says, everything's totally fine.
Is this aggravated or superficial?
Unhalf superficial.
So what Yin does is finds a lost angel and tells them to like stay, right? Just keeps running around telling people to stay in between him or her and the crazy people trying to kill us all. So they're just being like a series of human shields behind me as I get the fuck out. But I'm not very good at dodging.
Then with the ability to become unseen, we'll use the chaos to do so. And the wounds she take would be likely just happening to be getting in the way of fire.
I want to take one of them with me. With my potents. At least find one neck. Maybe take a shot and then just book vanish.
How many assailants are there with a gun?
What was
Just the
that?
one? There's just the one shooter?
There are several attack vectors. You all are, for the most part, it seems as if the randoms are using human shields. For the most part, it seems as if you all are doing what you all can to protect your personal selves, to create an opening and an opportunity to get the fuck out of Dodge. And with these determined, either humans or thin bloods or whatever they are, these betrayers of the blood, that's what this is. There's no ifs and buts about it. There are rules for this shit that they are violating. When the chips are down, let's just call it what it is. It's going to be anyone. If it comes down to a choice of you and them being everyone outside of yourself, who is it going to be?
Yeah.
Definitely a sign of gunshots. Olamide drops and then up he skates as soon as possible to get the fuck out. Whatever injury she takes isn't a glancing shot.
Jiang is just simply running for the exit in his dog form, taking damage from glancing shots and just getting trampled in the panic.
There is panic.
So, if any of the actual attackers get closer to me, I would prioritize making them stop in an effort to allow one of my people to attack them. I feel like we've done that before.
I will step up to the nearest and use Dominate to compel them to freeze.
Oh, it's just absolutely messy. Here's the thing. Second bite of the apple, for those of you who are choosing an offense instead of a full-out move, flee, escape, a chance to snarl back, a chance to bite back. You may not get the full pound of flesh, but, 4 ounces is still 4 ounces. Would you be so kind to go ahead and roll that discipline as high as you can? And here's the thing, of the both of you all who are attempting, if there's more, whoever scores the lowest puts themselves in close proximity to the Hulk handcuff wearing, mashed up person with the hand cannon. And a 50 caliber being wielded in each hand definitely quantifies to let you know how strong they are. Or idiotic, because, well, they're still shock and stress, yet they're firing a 50 caliber handgun in each hand as they get close to those who are fleeing. There's the hirsute forearm that lets you know that they are clearly something other than kindred, considering that they very much look like a wolf woman even with that mask.
How much Dominate can I have? 2 dots? Right?
1 or 2 dots.
I'm gonna take
2. Since I have mask. That's a 3.
Yes.
How much can I have in potence?
1 or 2.
1.
Whatever the opposite of the other thing you took.
Alright, fluent strength.
Yep.
No, Elise doesn't have the strength and melee that this character would have. but so I guess I'm just rolling for obfuscate.
Obfuscate is good. It's a hey, don't look at me.
Well, trying to find an opportunity while people are not looking at me to just, find a neck to slip the knife into and then disappear again and get the fuck out.
Okay, go ahead and roll a... We'll say that the dodge is automatic, roughly. It's already accounted for. You go ahead and roll your strength plus melee as high as you can. And remember, of all of the offensive actions rolled, the lowest total is who puts themselves in position nearest that Hulk hand monstrosity.
Well, Elise doesn't have any melee and has 1 strength. So, it's kind of incongruent with what is happening here, but...
Rouse, good friend. Rouse that. Risk the beast.
Alright,
Roll with that surge.
I also forgot rousing is the thing because I forgot how to do it before.
Rouse like the wind. You can do it. Risk it all.
So in this case, since I already rolled, what do I do to rouse?
Here, we just do a second 2 dice thing and
Sure.
And then increase the hunger dice.
Well,
No,
you
the
do-
hunger is the hunger.
yeah, the rouse for a surge doesn't happen until after.
Okay.
Not helpful.
Helpful.
If you use V rouse, it won't apply it to your normal character.
V-rouse?
Yeah, it's just, it uses the other bot, the one that the storytellers use.
So 5, 4, 3, 3. Oh, there are 2 3s on the offensive actions, and that means, well, 3 plus 3 is a 4. Let's see how successful you all against that monstrosity. What does do to you all?
My rouse added 2? Making sure you got that?
Yes, that's why it was 5, 4, 3 3s. We have 2 3s, so both of you all added together gives it a 4. Let's give them a difficulty of 4. And and hopefully fate is on your side. If fate is not on your side and they see that DC of 4, both of you all are taking this unhalf superficial.
Oh, lovely. That's sweet.
So, as you all make your way out, as the first round and first scoring actions of this sabotaging sneak attack staged by the Bloodhounds rips through the facility, kindred criminals are dropping left and right. The bulk of you all are able to dip, duck, dodge, and dodge, taking strafing wounds, scratches, abrasions, bullet wounds to soft tissue that you no longer need. You're mostly okay in the midst of the blood, the carnage, and the violence. And then that kindred sense of self, that normal appreciation of who you are, what you are. You are an apex fucking predator, and you will not run without taking your pound of flesh. Ducking and dodging and disappearing and reappearing and mind fucking people to stay still just long enough to take a bullet wound to places that they will probably need. Knees, elbows, necks, faces, all of the non-important areas. Unfortunately for you all, in the midst of these cannon fodder is the monstrosity herself, the wolf woman wielding the dual 50 caliber hand cannon. And as shit hits the fan, as the feces meets the fan, as the rotation of the blaze causes that splatter to spread far and wide, as Shay, a boxer by trade, a son of a Sonneveiller herself, and as Camille, the invisibly present child of Nosferatu themselves, are caught flat-footed in an exchange, sacrificing some of their attackers' blood for their effort and the indignity of being set upon in this way. The she-wolf herself spies what's happening, closes the distance far faster than what should normally be expected from someone as clearly mythological as she is, and empties a clip in your general directions. There's no way that any person can hit two separate distant targets at the same time. It is an impossibility, I tell you. It is unheard of with any semblance of accuracy, and yet the shells tearing through your undead flesh prove otherwise. And adding insult to injury, instead of dropping one pistol or holstering one hand cannon to change her clip, she flips the clips out, her cartridges, slams them against her hip, reloading the next cartridge, and is immediately already moving in a strafing fashion to get a better line of sight on you both.
Fucking Banu.
That's just rude.
Last, final opportunity. With hell come to earth, and the truth of what is happening. Because this is not just a robbery, which is to be expected. You can't trust criminals. This is not just an ambush or a vendetta being settled. No, this is some entity, some group of kindred and kindred adjacent individuals declaring war against Riley and anyone and everyone else present. This is not a schoolyard scrap. This is not a slap across the bow. This is literally walking into someone's house and strapping their most beloved pet or child the suicide vest. This is the most injurious of insults. This is a declaration that everyone and anyone is fair fucking game.
Now seems like an excellent time to continue running like hell.
If I'm still standing. Yeah.
Oh, you are. Unfortunately, you don't have the benefit of passing out from pain. You don't have the opportunity of escaping this moment with a dream and a hallucination, waking up hours later in the back of an ambulance. No, you get the pleasure of knowing what a ballistic explosion against your flesh feels like. You get to know what it's like to look down into your chest and see the inside of your back rib. You know what it's like to have a distance people opener make its home in your flesh.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. No. Look, we've used put anything between me and that fucking thing over there.
All right, so Here comes the brawl for it all. You all are on your way out. You all are escaping the premises and moving as quickly as your feet can carry you. You are soaring on the wings of pride, fright, and everything else that necessitates you all moving as quickly as possible. Would you all each do me the justice and favor of rolling your dexterity and athletics as high as you can? The lowest number we'll talk about.
Should be higher as a
I again forgot surgeon was a thing, but whatever.
I'm going to spend a willpower here.
That sounds apropos.
Yeah, I'm good.
And here you test them.
Damn.
I need to do slash read. I'm going to increase to 2.
We got a 4. We got a 5. We got another 4. We've got a 2. We've got a 2. We've got a 5 and a 4.
Messy crit 7.
Hey, now you're talking.
Yeah, I had tried to re-roll mine, but people's were popping up, so I ended up at a 6.
6.
That.
Yeah. So you make it outside. You get to the railing, and there's no way that she-wolf, that bitch of a kindred, to be that aware. You are, unlike everybody else, you're making it around the corner, and as you move past the window to get to the ramp, to get to the stairs, you pass in front of the window, which is only opposite the backside of that 72-inch screen, which inside has been shielded against most average Lasombra. Standing against the back of it as you move as quickly as you can, the powers of death itself coursing through your flesh, it is not nearly as shielded. It flickers, it attracts the attention. And the shot from the 50 caliber gun takes you up over the railing. You land in a heap, damage causing what would normally be a fatal wound in anything that was living. Luckily for you, you were not living. And as these screams of pain, because kindred don't typically scream in pain, typically. It takes graphic, gruesome wounds and the obliteration of flesh for their pain to usually be audible. Screams of pain from inside the building. There's no way that the hotel that you all could see from the parking lot doesn't hear something. The flashes of light, the gunfire. There's no way that someone's not walking across the back end of the park and happens to hear that. There's no way that someone's not on the beach walking hand in hand, taking in the lovely Mississippi night. There's no way. It's an impossibility. But that is exactly what is happening. Riley was smart enough to choose a secluded location that allowed sight lines for everything approaching. Los Angeles were smart enough to apply and use actual security, so there's no fear of security. No one's going to notice the absence of patrols or guards. The worst thing about moments like now is you all beat feet and make your way away from this place. You all survived hell on earth. The worst things about it, you all leave with your memory, and that's the only proof. No one's going to believe you. There's no fact that this ever happened. There's no proof save your pain that this ever occurred. But you know you were here at ground zero when the war officially begun. And with that consideration in mind, it is 35 after the hour. I'd like to thank you all for a lovely episode. You have a lovely evening. I'll talk to you guys later.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Love it. Thank you for running.
Wind order.
No, my pleasure.
Which is